time, we had a lot of news this week in Philadelphia sports. And I want to take time to really, really, really give a hand clap to the Philadelphia Flyers. They have been in the Philadelphia cemetery for the past 2-3 years. Nobody has really paid attention to them. They had a really bad year last year with Tortorella. It's not his fault. They bought him in to revamp the culture and really push these players, and he didn't have anything to work with. And now, you got, I don't remember the last GM, Chuck something, who knows? But he's gone, and Danny Briere, former Flyer great, was hired as GM of the Philadelphia Flyers. Keith Jones, who's been on TV covering the Flyers for years now, former Flyer himself, I think 7th round pick back in the early 90s or whatnot. He's part of the front office as well, and they had a hell of a draft last night. For those of you guys that aren't aware, or for those that are interested in hockey, they had 2 first-round picks, and the man of the evening that was acquired with the 7th pick in the 2023 NFL draft was Matvei Michkov from Russia, 18-year-old phenom. Look, you have comparisons to Kucherov, you have comparisons to Alex Ovechkin. Oddly enough, Michkov was highly coveted by the Capitals with the 8th pick, the one right after us, and we were able to swipe him from right under their nose, which, you got Alex Ovechkin, future Hall of Famer, Stanley Cup champion, and what better way to replace him as he goes into the sunset in the next couple years than to get Matvei Michkov. Nobody was going to get Bedard, but Matvei Michkov, arguably the second best prospect in the whole draft, we were able to scoop him up right in front of the Capitals. Capitals had one of the worst drafts, and we had one of the best drafts, getting a guy that probably was going to get drafted by them if we had passed on him. Right? And he was sitting there because he's playing for Russia in the KHL. He has 2 to 3 years on his contract or something of that nature. But I think that they'll either buy him out or he'll find a way to get out of that contract probably within the next 2 years. But it's a long-term pick right there. You know exactly what you're getting in this guy. He's phenomenal. I was just looking at highlights on him about half an hour ago, and look, it's very difficult to impress me when it comes to hockey highlights. Football, basketball is right up my alley, baseball as well, but hockey is really hard to impress me. But this guy, he has it, man. He moves around really well. He's a pest and a menace offensively. That's the best way I can describe him. And I'm going to briefly just give you guys a synopsis of one of the scouting reports I read, and this is from The Athletic. Draft class, number 7, Matvei Michkov out of St. Petersburg, Russia. Right winger. And, to break down, 18 years old, 5'10", $172. And their ratings for him, his tier, elite NHL player, potentially. Skating, NHL average. Puck skills, elite. Hockey sense, elite. And that's exactly what I saw on film. Competitive. His competition is about the NHL average where he's playing at right now, and his shot, high end. And his player comparison is Nikita Kucherov, who I just mentioned. Now, look, he's been posting really good numbers in Russia's 2nd tier pro league, which is the KHL, out of Sochi, and he's. No, he posted huge numbers in their 2nd tier pro league before he got traded to one of the worst teams in the KHL currently right now in Sochi. And he's really doing a bang up job. If you look at the film with him, look at the highlights, it's clear as day that he doesn't belong on that team, and it doesn't look like he even belongs in that league. He's moving at a different speed. In terms of IQ, the best comparison I can think of is like a Larry Bird. It's like an apples to oranges comparison. His hockey IQ is crazy, man. Like, not just the shots he makes, the difficulty of the shots, but in addition to that, the assists that he makes. Just like he has eyes in the back of his head as he's skating. He's just really good. He's really, really good. So I'm going to make a full video breakdown on that. But, for the hockey fans out there, look, Danny Briere, he is coming in with the broom, the sledgehammer, just tearing down the whole thing top to bottom, right? Because we just had the trade of our center. Damn it, I never remember his name. Never remember this dude's name. We traded from a couple years ago from the Rangers. Kevin Hayes. Kevin Hayes to the Blues for a 6th-round pick the other day, and they're like, 6th-round pick? You didn't get nothing for him. Well, they dumped his salary. We only happened to pay for half of his salary, so you're able to dump salary, create some cap space, and then you go into the NHL draft and get one of the most prolific players in that whole draft. If it takes him 2 to 3 years to get here, so be it. But in that meantime, continue to build up, so by the time he gets here, you can take off running. I don't think that Danny Briere and Keith Jones could have played this any better. And it feels good to see the Flyers making good, fundamentally sound moves after just 2 to 3 years of just absolute monkey crap. A hot, steaming pile of monkey crap was what we were served up for the past 2 to 3 years. And now we finally have a good, solid, fundamentally sound move. So congratulations to Danny Briere, Keith Jones, the Flyers organization for getting it done last night at the NHL draft.